On November 27th, 1997, citizens from a small Midwestern town called Carpenter's Bay were shocked to discover that one of their own brutally massacred his family, as well as ending his own life on Thanksgiving Day. Dubbed the Thanksgiving Day Massacre, this horrendous crime would forever tarnish the good name of this peaceful town. However, underneath this story lies a dark secret. A secret involving a government cover-up to hide the real story of what happened that fateful day. As the old saying goes, truth is stranger than fiction. Asset 13, The Last Thanksgiving, written by Julius Freeman, art by Greg Warrenchak, available on Global Comics. Evil has a new holiday.
In the age of social media, all it takes nowadays to spark up an online fight is to merely have an opinion. One opinion will cause many to spiral into a pit hole of anger where no one dialogues, only insults the person who has the unpopular or even the popular opinion regarding the latest trends in comic books, movies, or pulp culture. It makes sense given the circumstance. After all, acting tough behind the protective wall of the black mirror we all own and use on a daily basis makes it easy for anyone to jump right into a tirade of insults and threats. Again, just for having an opinion that they may disagree with. I decided to go against that notion. I've decided to start a video series where we discuss the hot topic issues within the comic book industry and pulp culture and provide you with another perspective. One of logic, reason, with just plain old dialogue between two people who have different opinions. My co-host and I will discuss the pop culture topics at hand in a fun, engaging, and respectable manner. So, without further ado, let's talk about it. Hey, welcome back everyone to another edition of Let's Talk About It. I'm your host, Julius Freeman, and with me as always is
Kyle.
I hope you guys had a great week. A lot of announcements this week from Paramount, no longer Warner Brothers. Now it's known as Paramount. But for now, we'll say Paramount/Warner Brothers just so that way it's still fresh, the merger. But a lot of announcements that have gotten people a little excited, a little buzz created. But at the same time, on the flip side, there's the Supergirl reviews that are coming out, and But we're not gonna talk about Supergirl. We're gonna talk about more about the announcement. But Kyle, how was your week? What did you pick up, man? Like anything cool and exciting?
My week's been pretty good. Let's see, what did I pick up this week? Oh, yes, I did pick this. It wasn't this week, but it was semi-recently where my local comic shop owner, he found this in his garage and didn't know what to do with it. It's not necessarily comic books. It's comic book related. It is a full set of vintage Spawn trading cards.
Whoa, no way, dude.
It's a full set of them, and each one is a different cover of the series. So it's it's the first 100 issues that are all in this chrome trading card.
Wow. And he just gave them to you? He just saw them and was like, oh, I don't want them.
Well, I had to buy it. He didn't give them to me.
I thought he gave them. Okay, my bad. I thought he gave them to you. Okay,
no, but it was pretty cheap. But and then there's all these Angela ones too. That are pretty. It's hard to see because they're all reflective.
No, I know. We get the idea. Wow, that's a
But
If you don't mind me asking, how much did he charge you for this folder?
I paid $25.
Okay, not bad, not bad.
So it's the whole set.
Dang, that's crazy. A Spawn card set. That just shows you that Spawn super popular. If they made cards like this. Oh, did we lose you? Did we lose you, Kyle? We're losing you. The AI is being. Oh, the AI is overwhelmed.
Oh,
sorry. Yeah. I can hear you, but I can't see you anymore.
You hear me?
I can barely hear you.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if it's me or if it's you. There you go. There you are.
Can't see you. Oh.
What's happening? There you go. There you are.
I don't
know.
Okay. We good? All right.
There you go. Chat, is it me or is it Kyle that's messing up? I can't tell because my video feed is good.
I was glitching out there for a minute, so it must be something on my end.
Okay.
But,
Ben says
anyway,
still a few bugs in the Kyle 2.0.
Anyway, yeah, so it's from 1996.
1990. Oh, okay, 96. All right, so it was already a few years in. Oh, Kyle, what's going on with your internet, man?
Well, before we started,
you were fine. Yeah, you were fine in the green room. Everything was good. Everything was working right. And then we started having problems. Well, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
If you want, you can get off camera.
Can you hear me now?
Help a little bit. I can hear you, yeah, but turn off your camera and see if maybe the audio will stay intact if no camera feed is being going through.
Yeah, but you're glitching out now. Again, we are a high production budget show.
That's right. We have an angel investor who invests very good money on this show. So he should be proud of the work he's putting in. Well, Kyle, you want to get out and come back in? How do you want to do this? Because you're still glitching. Hello.
Okay. Are we back?
Yeah, I can hear you. But
All
now
right.
there's a drag. There's a drag.
All right.
Yeah, how about you turn off the camera and just stay audio for now and then try it again in a few minutes. All right, try it. I'll talk.
All right. Well, as I was saying,
okay, yeah.
My computer decided to do updates right before the show, and Microsoft update. We all know how great Microsoft updates are.
Oh yeah.
So
they're the best, top notch. No
anyway, so I guess it was trying to connect to my Wi-Fi and kicking me off and trying to connect and just glitching out. So let me try my camera again. All right. Hello?
There we go. There you go. It's a little draggy still, but it's better. It's better than what we saw a few minutes ago.
All right. Well, you're just gonna have to deal with it. Deal with the buggy.
Deal with the AI bug. AI is not perfect, guys, as we know. So what happened was they one of the data centers must have forgotten to water to cool off the data center. Not enough water.
But anyway, yeah, those trading cards were pretty cool. And it was one of those things where it's like, yeah, I would like to have it in my collection just to kind of have it. Yeah. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but it looks cool.
Well, you can always resell them. You can resell them to like a hardcore fan, maybe that they would like something like that, because those are pretty cool, man. I'm not gonna lie, those are pretty rad. I wouldn't mind having a few of those.
Yeah, it's not like something you've seen often very much.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not.
Anyway, that's all I got. What did you get?
Nothing really, man. I just got a few books from the sidewalk sale over the weekend at the comic shop that we go to, and also picked up a few pretty cool comic books from a friend of mine who was selling his collection. He gave me he let me buy a few McFarlane Spider-Man comics. Amazing Spider-Man, not the Spider-Man series, but the Amazing Spider-Man series that he did before he got his own series. Yeah. It's the one, it's the issue 306, I believe, is the one where Spider-Man is the homage to the Superman. Action Comics cover.
Yeah, I love that one.
Yeah, so I bought that one from him, and I bought a McFarlane Hulk that he did with Peter David, an issue of that for $2. Someone to me for $2 each. So that was a nice get. And other than that, that's it, man. Just got picked up Absolute Batman, the latest issue of Absolute Batman, and that's pretty much all I got. I've been cutting back a little bit because I'm trying to get this production rolling with making more comic books, and I'm trying to use the least amount of crowdfunding as I possibly can and pay out of pocket and make comic books, because that's what we're all about, right? We're making comic books. So that's pretty much it for me, man. But this week has been a week of big announcements from Paramount / Warner Brothers, and the first one that came to my attention was Absolute Batman, the animated. Is it going to be a series or a movie?
I think it's a series.
It's a series. Okay.
I'm not entirely sure though. All I saw was just big Absolute Batman.
Yeah,
something.
I saw that. And DC Studios on the top, so I was like, "Whoa, what's going to happen here?" And there's a few people who thought that it was too fast, too quick, but in my opinion, no. You know, when something is hot like this and popular, you do it right now. It's the right moment to do it.
Well, and you know who wasn't slow on the draw? All of the sellers for Absolute Batman comic book, because it was like, I looked at it, it was like the second that they announced that, 5 minutes later, there's like 30 sales of Absolute Batman #1 cover that like all shot up in price.
I believe it. And here it is. Here's the announcement. This is the only thing that they released. They didn't release no proof of concept or anything like that. I heard this is gonna be a CG animated style, kind of like the same way as the Spider-Verse movies. Okay. And I hope it isn't. I hope it's a little different from that, because as much as I do like those films, it's a little too much. It's a little too sensory overload for me, like with the squiggly lines and all that stuff. Cool looking, but a bit too much to my liking, where I can only watch it maybe once, twice, and that's it. After that, I can't watch it anymore. So I'm hoping they tune it down. Huh?
It's too you old fart. Yeah, it's too much on the screen. I need it to be slower.
It's just, it was too distracting. Honestly, it was way too distracting. It's kind of like the way I took the Spider-Verse movies, Into the Spider-Verse. It's the same way I feel when I watch a Tarantino movie. When I watch a Tarantino movie, as much as I do like it and enjoy them, he likes to hear his dialogue talk, and so it's become distracting to me at this point. Where it's like, we get it, Tarantino, you're witty, we get it, like you're a witty writer. You know, you don't have to keep reminding us every time you have a character say these cool lines. You know, it's we get it, you're good. Just can you kind of grow a little bit? Can you evolve a bit? And so that's how I felt. That's how I felt about the Spider-Verse movies. It was too flashy. It was like, look at us, guys. We're cool animators. Like, we get it. You're good, but can you focus on the story? And they did, but it was a bit too flashy for me. But that's just a minute, little.
But I guess that was what made it
complaint.
So good, in my opinion, was because it was so stylized and kind of different than anything else that has come. So that's the reason why it was good for what it was trying to be, which was different.
Like I said, minute. It was minute. Yeah. Not. It didn't ruin the movie or anything. It just kind of like sometimes it took me out of the movie. So that's just it for me. But going back to Absolute Batman animated, are you excited about this, guys?
Oh yeah.
Watching, are you also excited for this? Because I'm not excited yet, because I want to see. Obviously, I want to see the trailer. I want to see what it's going to look like, because we already have a clear idea of what it looks like because of the comics. Dragota's artwork is just a top notch. I'm hoping that at the very least that they will at least try to stay within the style of what Dragota brought to the table.
Yeah, I hope so too.
If they do that,
have them
perfect.
At least have them as like consultants, and if Snyder maybe writes the series, and then Dragota is like a consultant on the animation or something like that, then that would be good. At least then you've got the actual creators on the project.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I'm all for it, man. I'm all looking forward to it. I think it's going to be great, especially because I not only just because I have a full run of two full runs of copies of Absolute Batman that I'm just kind of like sitting down like a dragon with his pot of gold, like gold mound. Just
What was that? What was that dragon's name from the
Smog?
Smog. Yeah, you're like Smog.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just like, this is my precious.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm gonna hold off. I mean, it's great. I'm happy now, and I kind of called it, right? Didn't I call it that they're just waiting for the merger to happen?
Yeah.
And then once they did, the announcements came out the week after the DOJ approved the sale and the merger. And next thing we know, you're getting drop after drop after drop. So they're probably just holding on to it, like, come on, man.
Let's
come
on,
DOJ, approve it. So good on
like,
them.
Okay, go now.
Yeah. go. Green light. And I'm sure it's gonna be great. A lot of new fans of the comics. So now they're gonna streamline them, no pun intended, to the show and to the animated show. So I'm happy about that. Good on DC. They've really stepped up their game, man. Like they really put Marvel Comics to shame this past few years. I'm surprised actually. I'm honestly surprised that Marvel fumbled the revamp of the Ultimate Universe, which should have been a home run automatically, but they didn't. They struck out, and it didn't pan out the way that I hoped. And that's because I don't know what the reason is, because I don't work there. But based on what you've told me, when you read Ultimate Spider-Man by Hickman, it was just boring. It was just actually boring.
It started off good, and then it was getting good, and then it got to the point of like, okay, when's it gonna actually like really get good, and then it just kind of went down, and then it's like, all right, well, maybe we can bring it back. No, then it just kind of kept going down, and then it just kind of went flatlined. And it's like, well, maybe this next issue will go up. And it's like, nah. Maybe this next one, nah. Next, no. And then it's like,
man, that sucks.
And so then I just dropped off.
That's a bummer, because the Ultimate Universe could have been also very interesting. But I think, in my personal opinion, they chose the wrong writers for the wrong books. And the Ultimate Universe, when it was first launched back in the early 2000s, what made it interesting anyway for me was the fact that Joe Quesada chose edgier, hungrier, a lot more ambitious writers to come on board, and hey, we could have a little bit of fun with this. Maybe not be so strict with the origin stories. Let's maybe have a little bit of more interesting takes on the modern takes on this, and pretty much have a go. Yeah. Just don't go outside this box, and we're good. And it worked. It paid off, because every Ultimate line that first few years was solid. Ultimate X-Men was solid. Ultimate Spider-Man was solid. And the fact that Mark Bagley was just a machine, man. Like, he was on it, dude. Like, to the point where he was so fast, Kyle, during this Ultimate Spider-Man run, that Marvel accommodated him by going, instead of once a month, let's do 2 a month, since you're so fast.
Seriously?
And he was like on, I don't know what he was on. I don't know if it was a different kind of coffee he got, or if he was on cocaine. That's alleged. I'm not saying he is, but dude, he was like on fire. He was on. He was never late. Never.
Wow.
For Ultimate Spider-Man. And then, of course, the Ultimates came about after, and then it just blew up more and more. And that became the Ultimate Universe pretty much became what the MCU was when they started making their movies, and it worked. It paid off. And so going back to the Ultimate Absolute Batman, I'm hoping that they do deliver it, because if it's anything like we saw in the next trailer of the announcement that happened around the same week, I think, or maybe it was the week after. I can't recall. But Nightfall, dude.
Nightfall.
Now, when I saw this, I was like, all right, dude, this is cool. Now, this is something I could get behind, because my major complaint a few years ago when DC was producing animated films and stuff for a while there.
Yeah.
I didn't like that they kept the animation style the same for the different
Yeah.
stories that they adapted, And
I
I
know
get what
they
they were
tried to
going
keep
for.
it. Yeah, they were trying to keep it like a somewhat, like in the same universe that they're
Yeah,
all connected and stuff like
yeah,
that. And like, yes, that's true, but you kind of also never really started it that way, anyways. They were all, in my mind, always just one-off stuff to begin with. So it's like it almost worked better that way anyway, because that way, you could just kind of just do these one-off things and not have to worry about any other type of continuity or anything.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong; those movies are still good, but I was hoping, I kind of wish for more of a like, why can't they adapt to to the style that the artist brought to the table when they adapt some of these good, cool stories,
Yeah.
And so when I saw this, I was like, oh, dude, all right, I'm in. Like, this is cool. I like the fact that I believe it was Graham Nolan is the artist of who created Bane, but I think the main artist for the Nightfall series was oh gosh, what was his name? Help me out, chat.
Uh,
I have
Ben, what do you
his
know? Ben
no
knows all of it.
Ben knows all. Yeah, Ben knows all. Gosh, I have his name in the tip of my tongue, and I can't remember
It's
his
like,
name. Like always, right?
I just love it where it's like it was written, it was originally drawn by
Kelly
this, but it was
Jones.
actually
Kelly Jones. Kelly Jones. There.
uh,
See, it came to me. It just took a while. Kelly
I know,
Jones. I
but
think
you're like trying to get it out, and you're all
because
like,
I'm trying to remember the names. I'm like, and I kept the Graham Nolan kept coming up, but Graham Nolan only drew the Bane story, the origin story of Bane, and
yeah,
that's the famous issue where we find out how he was raised in the prison system and all that stuff. But Kelly Jones was the artist, the main artist for the Nightfall series, and it's kind of cool seeing that they're gonna stay true to Kelly Jones's design, because Batman with the pointy shoulder
yeah,
pads
and the long ears.
yeah, that's Kelly Jones all the way, and I'm
Yeah,
so happy that they're doing that, and I can't wait to see what they have in store for other adaptations they're gonna hopefully do. So, it'd be kind of cool to see like a animated style of like a Neil Adams for that the Ra's al
yeah,
Ghul storyline, the Lazarus, the one where I guess the first introduction to Ra's al Ghul.
yeah. That
That'd
would
be
be
cool,
cool.
man. That'd be really cool if they could do that. But yeah, this hyped me up the
Or
most.
Green Lantern, Green Arrow.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
Neil Adams one for that.
that'd be really cool. But we'll see. I mean, we'll see how this one comes out. I think this is going to be a 2 or 3 parter. I
I
can't
think
remember.
3-parter.
Yeah, 3
I'm not
parter.
entirely sure. You need at least 3 parts
Yeah,
because the whole
yeah,
Nightfall series is like, huge.
yeah, right,
So
for
it's
sure.
like,
So it's going to be interesting to see how they streamline this story, because I'm pretty sure they're going to focus more on obviously the Bane and the breaking the bat's back,
yes,
and the
break
destruction
that.
of Gotham when the Arkham Asylum gets blown up and all the criminals get loose into the city again. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they execute that. So I'm excited for this one, honestly, the most.
Yeah,
So that was the
me too.
second.
I'm looking
Oh, go
forward
ahead.
to it.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to
what
it.
are your thoughts on it? What was your first impressions when you saw the images and the trailer?
When I first saw it, I'm like, great. They're not doing it in that other art style that they have been doing it. They're doing it in its own art style, which is good, and I
Yeah,
wanted that. And then I saw that then it was gonna be Nightfall, and I'm like, awesome. Now it gives me an excuse to spend more money and get all those issues that I was
right.
already planning on getting, but now I
Right.
have to. So now I have to go
Yeah,
and get them all, along with 50 other million people that are also going to be hunting for them as well.
I'm sure.
So
I'm sure those prices are going to go up too in a few weeks.
yeah,
I'm sure they've already gone up.
so
So that should be cool.
those were the immediate thoughts out of my head. Now, in terms of like other stuff, in terms of like the actual like story and stuff, I haven't actually read the whole Nightfall series, so that's also a reason why I'm looking forward to it, because that way I can either watch the show
Right.
and read along the comics at the same time, or vice versa. I'll try to get the comics first and then eventually get to the show. I know I've been kind of doing that with Invincible. I've been watching the show first, and then I've been kind of going back and now reading the series in comic books and kind of seeing the differences that they are doing. So I'm wondering if they're going to keep it really true to the books, or they're going to try to take a little bit more liberties in the show or movie.
Cool. Real quick, what's your biggest takeaway from the differences you've been noticing between the comics and the show regarding Invincible?
Well, there was, let's see. Well, the biggest one was Amber in the show. They did a race swap on her.
Oh,
so
okay.
That was, I mean, it didn't really matter.
Outside of that.
I was going to say, like, it's kind of like a whatever, doesn't matter.
Right.
In terms of other stuff, like I haven't gone through most of the comic books yet, but it seems like they have been keeping true, at least in the beginning, keeping true to this show. I know that there was one episode that they did in the show that they never did anything with in the comic books, and that was where Invincible goes to hell and goes with Satan and all this stuff, and I'm like, yeah, maybe it was a good reason why it wasn't there.
Okay.
So,
right. But obviously, the source material is still the best. I take it.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, the last announcement that actually had me the most excited, and I think also it's safe to say that had a lot of other people the most excited, was the announcement of a brand new animated series that stars Conan.
Oh, Conan! Yes,
Conan. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. My bad. Hold on.
That's
hold on.
that one.
That one. Tadarovsky. It's about time. It's about damn time that this occurred, because we all know, right? Primal is one of the best animated shows out there today.
If you haven't seen that, go check it out.
Yes.
I don't know if we ever talked about it here on the show, but
I don't think so. No.
It is one where, if you are a Conan fan, it was basically just a resume for the studio execs saying, look what I can do if you give me Conan. It's like it takes everything that you love about Conan, and basically he just does like just a slight variation on the character. And so when you watch the show, it is like phenomenally good.
Yes.
And then now when they announced that coming out by him, I was so ecstatic. And I'm like, yes, finally, good, we got it. They listened. He actually listened.
Yeah, he must have been like, "Hey guys, you doing Conan anytime soon? Because look at this. Look what I'm doing here. I'm doing something pretty cool." And you know what? It really is a solid show, and there's no dialogue in it, and that is a testament to the talents of how you pronounce his last name? I always forget.
I pronounce it Tarkovsky.
Tarkovsky. Is the other T silent? Because I could have swore I saw.
Like I said, I'm not very great at pronouncing names.
Yeah,
so don't take my words for it. Anyway.
Okay. Tadarovsky. I'll just say Tadarovsky. I don't care.
Okay.
A testament to his work, to his skill, the fact that he's able to keep your attention from beginning to end. Every episode is just absolutely phenomenal, and definitely something that I aspire to do as a writer myself, is a comic book writer, especially, is that when I would one day like to write a complete silent book of just images, and just let the images tell the story. And I know that's like Tarkovsky. There you go, Tarkovsky. Thank you, Ben. Hey, Ben, where are you at? I thought you were going to jump on the show and join us. Are you still joining us tonight? I hope you are, because we're ready for you, man.
We got some stuff to talk about.
Yeah, but Yeah, I was. This is the one announcement. I was like, oh, dude, yes, finally, we're gonna
Yeah.
get this, and I can't wait for this one to come out. I hope that he's close to being done because usually they announce these things. When, hopefully, anyway, that they already signed a deal. He started work on it, and now they're just hyping it up so that way people can get ready for it. And I just hope this delivers. There he is, Mr. Ben Soto.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good.
How excited are you, Ben, for this?
This is really cool. I haven't seen all of what's that show you just talked about?
Primal.
Primal?
I saw like the first 2 episodes. I haven't gotten through the rest yet, but yeah, that is awesome storytelling. Like great storyboarding. Like that is awesome. When you can do that without words, that's amazing.
Yeah,
That was what really hooked me when I first watched it. Of like, there's like no dialogue whatsoever, but yet you completely understand exactly what's going on and his emotions and what's the feeling and everything like that. It's like, that's amazing.
Yeah. There's that scene like right after his family dies, and he's like up on top of the mountain, just like looking at the sunset.
I know.
You just feel it. It's like, oh man, poor guy.
Yeah.
And so I'm
For sure.
so looking forward to having him, tackle Conan.
Yeah.
Because Conan is also one where he's in a lot of the books, he's a man of few words. It's like, oh, you're an evil wizard? Okay, I'll chop your head off.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna enough talk.
Yeah.
Action and delivery.
So,
So yeah, I mean, so it's safe to say that this is the most hyped. I mean, of course, everyone has their own preferences and likes regarding the Batman. Well, since you joined us just now, Ben, what are your thoughts about the Absolute Batman announcement? And also, I mean, you just mentioned that Nightfall. You're excited to see that one. You're excited to see that one.
Yeah,
What
I'm
about
excited to see
Absolute Batman?
Nightfall. Absolute Batman. Honestly, like I don't read the comic books, so I don't really have any kind of strong opinion about it. I've seen
you
like
haven't
the
been
images.
picking them up? We've been
No,
recommending them.
I know. I've seen the images you guys shown, and it looks pretty cool. But something about it to me just I don't know. I just can't get into it.
What is it exactly? Have you figured that out? Have you pinpointed exactly what it is about Absolute Batman that you just kind of like, nah, not for me. Like I'm not gonna check this one out.
I honestly haven't given it that much thought. It's just it just doesn't call my attention.
Interesting. I would imagine it would because you're based on Cephas, you're a fan of horror comics. Is that like because that's kind of where Absolute Batman leans more into the horror element of Batman because it's a lot more monsters in Absolute Batman. That's what I've noticed about Snyder is that he's very in love with monsters and just finding a way to put him in the Batman universe. And I think Absolute Batman was the best place to do that in.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe sometime down the road, like I'll pick up a collected edition of it. Get it a trade paperback. But just right now, no. I think the last DC book I was really into was what did Justin say? Looks like absolute garbage. Yeah, somewhat. No, that'd be
a funny quote, like in the front of the book, and at the bookstore.
No, I like Nick Dragotta's artwork, like East of West. I thought was a really cool looking book.
Oh yeah, East of West, man.
No, I think the last DC book I was really into was the New Gods, the stuff that Ram V wrote.
Oh right, yeah.
Like to me, like that was just some like grade A writing. Like I absolutely love that book. And I'm not really a DC fan.
Are you keeping tabs on that book? You still reading it or no?
I think the last issue I picked up was 12. I'm not sure what issue they're on right now. I haven't been to the shop in a couple of months, so
yeah. Understandable.
Yeah.
Nightfall, you're looking forward to Nightfall though?
I am, because that's something I grew up with. Again, I was never really into DC, but I remember when that event happened. It was like all over Wizard magazine, like seeing the character. I think Justin, my little brother Justin, he was really into like Azrael during that time.
Yeah.
I heard Azrael was like a hit or miss character. It's kind of, I remember reading that it was kind of like DC's cheap attempt to cash in on the image craze, how they designed their characters all like crazy and everything, and
and everything.
Yeah, I heard that was like their answer to that, and it was like split. Like you either loved it or you like, no, this is stupid. And so it was like one of those things. I don't know if your brother was one of the. You just say he loved Azrael, right?
He really liked that character. I think that was created by, is that Dennis O'Neil and Joe Quesada that created that character?
Oh, I didn't know Danny O'Neil was
familiar.
part of that. It makes sense that Quesada was part of that because that does look like a Quesada design.
Yeah,
because he did a book called Ash, right? And that didn't.
Yes,
Ash was pretty dope.
That was pretty cool looking character.
Yeah. Did you ever catch an issue of that, Kyle? Like anywhere when you went to a con, did you ever see like an Ash book anywhere in the wild?
It's possible I have, but it never crossed my mind, so I never picked it up.
Mm-hmm.
Like the story is all right. The artwork was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, I think Joe Quesada doesn't get enough credit as an artist, but he was amazing. He was an amazing artist for sure.
And that's the thing with sometimes with comic books, it's like sometimes these great artists or writers, they do sometimes these really obscure stuff. And it's like, if you know it, it's great and you got to find it. But then it's like, but it's not really talked about too much. So then it's like, sometimes you run into it like off the cuff or something like that. And you're just flipping through stuff and you're not really paying attention for it. And then later you're like, oh, wait, that's what that was? Oh, then you're trying to find it and you can't find it anywhere.
Yeah, and that was Joe Quesada and Jimmy Palmiotti like starting their own comic book company called Event Comics. And that was like their flagship character.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. And it created buzz. I mean, it got them work. It got them careers. So they did something right. And it was a good team up, a good duo. And I think that's what a lot of indie creators today have to realize is that, you know, as much as you want to have control and like do things yourself, it's always best to network and link up with, you know, maybe there's an inker that you know or a colorist that you may know and link up and work together and create a studio so that way you can outsource your skill set and get work in the industry. And I think a lot of publishers prefer that because then you're a team and you don't have to worry. They don't have to worry about finding, okay, now we got to find this person to, you know, fill in the gap. You already have the team ready and you're good to go. And I think if more indie creators did that, there'll be a lot more, in my opinion, successes in terms of finding work in the mainstream or finding your readership if you keep at it enough, you know, long enough.
Right.
So speaking of which, of indie comics, now it's time for the one and only one of the best segments we've ever had. Kyle,
all right,
take it away.
Is it worth the pickup? So if you have never done this before or never seen our show before, this segment is called Is It Worth the Pickup, in which we review a book that either I had recently read or both of us had recently read, and then we talk about what we liked about it, what we didn't like about it, and then eventually we'd say, is it worth the pickup? And this is, you know, a way for us to get the actual perspectives of readers like myself and also comic book creators like yourself, Ben, and Julius. And so we give our takes on what we liked and disliked about the book. We say, we try not to say, oh, this was bad because it's bad, or this was good because it's good. We try to say, okay, the reason why, and maybe you should have done this in this way, and then it would then enhance and improve the story versus
wouldn't suck as much.
Yeah, exactly. That's a nice way. You know, I'm trying to be a little bit more diplomatic in my description. So, in some cases, though, we have the pleasure of actually having the comic book creator on with us. And therefore, we get to actually, you know, talk about the book with the creator. And in this case, we will with Ben Soto and his book, Cephas, or however, I say Cephas, He says Cephas.
No,
You
it's
say-
Cephas, right? It's Cephas.
Yeah, it's Cephas. I say Cephas. Yeah.
It's Cephas. Okay.
Cephas, yeah.
So I'm right, as always.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Of course, AI Kyle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, yes. So we did do a preview version review of this in another episode. And we had you on as well, and we talked about the book. Do you want to just give just a brief rundown of either like how you came to create this character, and just kind of a little bit of the process of went into it?
Yeah, so I created this character when I was in college. I created like this whole universe of vampires and werewolves and monsters. And I wanted to create a different type of vampire that looked different. Didn't look like the pretty Hollywood vampire. Like this guy was like all scarred up and like, yeah, he's gonna live forever, but he's gotta live forever looking like this. It looks like a monster. There's like no walking amongst the humans for him at all. There's no benefits, you know.
He's not all diamond sparkly skin.
Exactly. And so that was just kind of the idea behind Cephas, was just creating a real monster vampire.
Okay,
Only
nice.
he would hate what he was, and he would go around looking for revenge against other vampires.
Nice. And so then you just, you're like, I got this idea. I gotta go and make it into a story, and this is what became of it, right?
Yeah, so I started. My brother and I started Halloween Head Comics a few years ago, and we invited some of our friends to come along on the ride with us, and we did a couple of horror anthologies. And so, for Volume 2, Mario, who's just the artist for this book, reached out to me and said, "Hey, like next book you got, let me know because I want to draw something for you." So I'm like, "All right." So I was trying to think of what he could do, and that's when I remembered this character. I thought, well, I'll write a short little 14-page script of Cephas, and he was perfect. He knocked it out. I love what he did with the character.
Well, I'm sure happy that you guys came up with it, because when we did the review the first time with just that little short that you did of it, we really enjoyed it, and so we were really looking forward to getting the actual issue and reading more about this character. And I have to say, after reading it, it was terrible. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh man.
That was just for Justin. That was just for Justin.
You don't have to make Justin happy.
Yes.
He doesn't deserve it. You just talking crap.
I knew it.
No, but in all seriousness, though, I did enjoy the book, and we'll go into it in terms of like the story. We'll go as we normally do. We usually go page by page. I might ask you some questions along the way, and we'll just kind of just go from there. So, now did this cover? There was several other covers that you also, or at least there was one other cover I know of. And then there was a foil variant as well.
Right, which I think this is. It looks like a
this one was the foil that I had here that I scanned for this, and then I also had the other one with the claw hand.
Right, that's Mario's cover.
Oh, okay, yeah. Which do you prefer more, the main one or the claw one?
I like them both. Graphically, like the claw coming out of the ground, silhouette, against the moon. I think that's very eye catching. But also, I think Oliver Sapijo's style, the way he captured the character and the monsters and stuff, is just really cool.
Yeah, no, I definitely see that, and it's definitely something that really does pop when you see it. It's like, ooh, that's really cool. I want to kind of learn more about the character. Yeah. So anyway, getting into it. The Cephas Moonblood Part 1. Obviously, writer and colorist. Now, you also colored this as well. Was this your first time coloring, or have you done any type of coloring in the past?
Yeah, I've done lots of coloring in the past. I've colored several books over the years in indie comics.
Nice. Okay. So this was it was something that you were like, oh well, that's easy. I can definitely do it myself. I don't have to go and pay somebody to
Right.
do
Yeah,
it.
for sure.
That's my strength. I'm not that great of a drawer or inker, but I'm a decent colorist.
Okay. And then the artist being Mario Williams, as you mentioned. And then you had the letterer, which was Keith Gleason. Now, how do you know him? Who is he?
Shout
somebody
out
that
to
you-
Keith.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Keith Gleason is the creator of Mighty Mascots,
Yeah.
which was a really cool property back when he was with Alterna. He still does it now, even on his own. And he's got some other cool properties coming out. He's a great guy, but that's where I met him. I met him when he was with Alterna.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very good. Very cool dude. He organizes his own comic book convention up
Yes.
in I believe, is it Philadelphia? Is it Pennsylvania or where exactly?
I'm not sure. I thought he was Jersey, but he might be Philadelphia.
Okay. Yeah. Again, all around nice guy. A
Yeah.
great host of the Indie Comics Relay. Go check out his channel on YouTube. Great guest, great talk. Him and his co-host Johnny. I forget the name of his their third co-host. Do you happen to know his name, Ben?
I don't remember his name.
Yeah. Yeah, great show. Shout out to Keith and company.
Yeah.
So go on, Kyle.
All right. And then the title graphics, Nick Welsh. Is he also somebody that you knew, or was just more like a hire?
Yeah, he's a colorist and a graphic designer that works on Red Koi. He's also with Alterna.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Are you planning on also in the future working with them again and stuff like that? Because
Oh, definitely. I talked to Keith and I told him, like, you're my letterer, and if you're up for it. And he's like, oh yeah, definitely. He's like, I'm Team Ben Soto. I was like, all right,
nice.
that's what I like to hear.
All right. So then we'll get into the story. Now, to begin with, I want to say, as just a little bit of criticism, that
No criticism.
Not allowed.
the introduction in the first, the first section here, it wasn't the strongest beginning.
Yeah, and it is abrupt. I admit that.
It was one of the ones. It was just where I understand starting with kind of like an action with the guy. He's trying to get information out of him. However, I just wish that it was a section that we'll cover later on in chapter 2. I just kind of wish that chapter 2 was kind of more at the beginning. So
Like what part of chapter 2?
we'll get to that when we get there.
Right.
But
I also noticed that this reminded me of Old Boy. Were you inspired by Old Boy? Have you seen that movie, by the way, Old Boy?
No, I have not. What is it?
Oh, okay. Well, there's a scene.
I guess I
in the
didn't
movie
then.
Old Boy. Yeah, not the American version, but the Korean version of Old Boy, and it starts off with the protagonist dangling somebody off the rooftop from the top.
Okay.
I mean, he's not holding his tie here, but it kind of reminded me
Yeah.
of that. I was like, oh, I wonder if you got that from Old Boy. But hey, it's a cool intro nonetheless. But go ahead, Kyle.
All right.
So yeah, it starts with Cephas, getting some information out of this vampire about where how do you pronounce, is it Nevin?
Yeah.
Nevin. Okay.
Yeah. Rhymes with
Nevin
heaven.
and what?
Rhymes with heaven.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm assuming that was intentional.
It's actually Gaelic, a Gaelic name that means heaven.
Oh, okay. So you wanted to definitely do the irony of his name.
Very intentional. Yeah.
Yeah.
As what writers are supposed to do, right, Ben?
Right. Yeah.
Wow. I can't believe that the thing was supposed to be
I can't believe writers research. I had no idea.
a euphemism for something too. Wow. So then it cuts to his origin, in which he was a farm boy in Italy in the 1700s. He went to school as part of the like the nuns, or not nuns, monks is what I was looking for. Yeah. And
monastery, right, Ben?
Right.
Is it a
monastery, yeah.
The monastery.
And he eventually meets who we later come to find out is Nevin. and throughout, he tells him, oh, this is going to, follow me. I'll show you what you've been looking for, because I guess our main character Cephas, he just felt lost. There wasn't really much for him to do. He kind of looked like he was just kind of like, I'm just picking olives and that's my whole life.
Right. Just kind of drifting through life.
Yeah. And so he's offering him just kind of like an escape, pretty much, from his regular world.
Something more.
Yeah. Something more. Something that would, I guess, give him meaning in a sense.
Right.
And so then, he starts acting a little strange when speaking to him, kind of getting a little afraid of like, well, you can see into my heart. And, he's telling him I've got these gifts and, eventually, you'll be like me, basically, type of thing.
Yeah.
Now, do we come to find out later that he was chosen specifically for a reason, or was he just basically, he does this to everybody and it just so happened that this was a special thing that happened?
Yeah, both. Nevin does this. So like Nevin does this to all his victims, makes them feel special. He manipulates people. And he just uses people as toys. These vampires, they have no emotional ties to anybody or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And which later on, like Cephas mentions that towards the end of the book. Like after he finds out his parents are dead, he's like, I don't feel anything. I'm a monster.
Right.
And that's pretty much the way Nevin is. Like he doesn't feel anything, but he knows how to make people feel like they're special.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, I mean, and that's something that does, kind of, come through, and I can definitely tell, in the way that you were like, kind of framing this with him sitting on the edge and then like looking out over the whole city, is that a Jesus temptation by Satan, and like, oh, look at what you can all achieve,
right?
Just
this can all be yours. This world is yours. It's your oyster.
Yeah, was that intentional, or was that
Yeah, definitely.
Wow, more symbolism. Imagine that. So if you want to keep on scrolling down, Julius, we'll go to he eventually turns Cephas into a vampire, and then he tells him, well, yeah, my life did change. Now I'm hunting for dogs and cats and stuff like that to hold me over, type of thing. He's not well liked amongst the other vampires of the coven, I guess.
Yeah, their slur for him is goat drinker.
Right. Is that just because he won't
kill a human?
He won't kill a human. He just wants to keep some semblance of humanity.
Right.
Yeah. And so they just shun him for that. Man, you're going really fast, Julius. I just want you to go a little bit, but not so much. All right, you can pause right there. And so then they eventually lock him out of getting inside, because they're still vampires and they're still affected by the sun. That hasn't changed anything. So in terms of their powers, they're still very much like the traditional vampire, where they can't be in the sun, they have to drink blood and all that. Yeah. One of the things I did mention though, or wanted to ask, was like, I know there was some lines about, it's been 15 years, so obviously he doesn't age very much, in time.
Yeah.
And his father passed away and his mother, but like, what was really keeping him from still just being with them? Like, I understand he had to drink the blood and all that stuff, but like, couldn't he still like be with them, and like, maybe they could help in some way, maybe try to take him to the monastery, maybe they do like a try exorcism type thing.
Right. No, I think for him, he hated what he had become. Basically, he hated that he was a monster, and he felt ashamed and didn't want to approach his parents for that reason.
Okay. So, yeah, so then anyway, going back to the story, he obviously gets burned, and then we cut to present day where we meet this other, like I call the aristocrat vampire. How would you classify him? As just like like a mob boss, or just he's just kind of like the cool
like
dude,
the playboy,
vampire,
yeah.
Okay.
Hangs out at the club.
Hang out at the club. He's he's always on
Driving
top
a flashy
of everything.
car. Yeah.
So then we get a meeting between Cephas and him in present day. And so he's driving along, and then then we have some dialogue of like, I know who you are and what you've become, and Cephas is all like, where's Nevin? And he's like, I'm not gonna tell you because I'm an evil guy and we gotta fight first. So because this is a comic book.
That's right.
So there was this section here. So if you want to keep scrolling a little bit more, so when we get to the fight, I wanted to ask you about the sequence of events here. So he draws his sword here, and then Cephas dashes to catch him, or stop him right there.
Right.
Okay, so he's holding him right now, and then he kicks off and then flips. I want to say maybe like 10 feet, 15 feet away.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, now ready for my attack. And then goes and jumps again to going at him. So it's like, so he jumps away to just jump back to
escape his grasp. Yeah.
I guess. I mean, yes, but it's one of those things where it's like, well, if you scroll back up where, he's like in striking distance with the go up, right there. Like he's not even holding the sword hand. Like if he went, no, go back down. Like I would have preferred him to at least have him. He could be grabbing him and then maybe like grabbing the sword, so he's not going to be able to. Because like right now in my mind, he could just stab him with the sword right now. Like he's grabbing him, and he's like, just stab you right in the face. But
that's boring. That's not as exciting as jumping and slashing.
Well, yes, I know that, but I'm just saying
this is a comic book, Kyle.
Yeah, but the sequence of events, though, like he could have still maybe like tried to jump.
You're right, Kyle. You're right.
And then,
I'll do better.
Like, yeah, that's right.
I'll do better. Yes, I'll do better. I failed.
Yeah, let me chime in a bit. So I understand where Kyle's coming from. So maybe what you could have done here during the scripting phase is that here when he grabbed him, right? Where's Nevin? He's surprised, right? Because he's back, goes, wow, you're faster than I thought, right? So maybe here, since he's a master of swordsman, I imagine maybe the next panel could have been where he struck him, right? He like immediately struck him as a counter after he grabs him, and they kind of like two magnets kind of split apart, and then right there he could have been like, whoa, you're faster than I thought, and your skin is, then he could have said something about his skin, how it didn't penetrate him or whatever. That, I guess that's what Kyle's trying to say.
Yeah.
In terms of
you're right, Kyle. I failed you.
No, but, I mean, it still gets the point across. It was just a interesting when I first read it, of like, okay, so he jumped away just to jump back to get him. It's like, but anyway, so then they fight, he's like jumping around. And I also would have preferred in that panel right there, though, instead of it just kind of just like a little jump back, maybe having the ghost action shot version of himself be flipping like a flip, and then he's landing, just to kind of make it a little bit more like a backflip, make it look like he's really jumping to get out of it. So, because that's what kind of threw me, because it looked like he was.
Hold on, Kyle. That's out of Ben's control, because that's the artist. I imagine that's the artist. That's what the artist interpreted when he read your script, Ben. When he drew this panel. Yeah. So that's not.
I know.
Paul Tom Ben there.
But you're acting like Ben has no say in how the final product is.
You're right. That's true. That's true.
You're right, Kyle. You're always right, Kyle.
Exactly. See, somebody says it in this dynamic.
There you go.
Finally. Anyway, so yeah, as we continue, we see him, obviously, what was his name? Santiago. He is a lot more agile than Cephas because he's flipping them all. Not flipping them off, flipping. he's flipping all over him.
Right.
And then this is where we get the scene where he's like, "How are you still standing? Because I've been hitting you this like whole time and nothing's happening."
Right.
And then we find out that his skin is like impenetrable, because of the burn that he got from the sun, and what happened after just like hardened his skin to like almost like invincible level skin, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
It's funny though. He's in the scene though, where he's talking about he's meeting with his new coven, Arizona. I'm like, yeah, Arizona heat would do it to you. It's like it's hot there, man.
I just wanted to make a quick comment about the design and the whole origin of his skin being calloused over because of the burn. That was such a brilliant idea, honestly. Like it was so cool. There's a lot to work with too. As to you get, do you know why that happened? Are you gonna explain that later on? Okay, yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah. Because I was gonna say, like, if that's the case, man, I mean, obviously you don't want to look like that, but if they have the opportunity to basically be alive forever and invulnerable forever, like, that's pretty good. But not having yourself look like a demon skull monster, that's a little bit of a
that's not cool.
That's a little hard pill to swallow. And then we get the money shot of him, with the moon and stuff like that. I did like this splash page of him with the full body and stuff like that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Mario did an awesome job. Loved it.
Was this originally going to be a cover, or was this
no? That's just a splash.
It was just splash. Okay.
Yeah, a splash for the story.
Okay. And then we continue on to where he's on a train, heading to Arizona to find Nevin. And realizing that like he still has the hunger, that doesn't go away no matter how much he can try to fight it and everything. And he's in a car with a whole bunch of people, and he's just like what to do don't think about it.
Smell him.
Don't think about it. Think about something
all right
else. And so then that was chapter 1. So then we move on to chapter 2, where we go back in time again, back to the right after his burn. And he basically just goes and buries himself.
Yeah.
For does it say how long he was buried for?
I don't think I said how long it was.
Okay. But it's still within the same time because
right, yeah.
So it's not like it's like, centuries or anything like that.
No.
Okay. So yeah, he buries himself basically to just kind of like heal, almost just like a
right.
Just to regenerate. And here I guess it says later that night. So I guess it's only been a day or so that night. Anyway, so we have this other woman that comes by being chased by other vampires, and he smelled her scent and and heard their the screams and everything like that, and bursts out of the ground to go and attack these vampires. And obviously they're shocked because they weren't expecting a giant naked vampire with no skin to pop out of the ground.
Right.
And so again, this where
And
they
by the way,
learn.
great. There's another great splash page here.
Yeah.
Fantastic splash page.
Yeah.
Are these vampires in the same coven as Nevin? Like, are all vampires that exist in this universe all come from Nevin, or is there other
No.
vampires that come from different versions?
Yeah, there's different like I call them general vampires, which are like the more powerful vampires, and beneath them they'll have their coven, and once they mature to a certain age, those vampires will spread out and develop their own covens.
Okay, and so Nevin. Justin says it's the nudity that surprised them. Yeah, exactly. Especially in 1700s, man. I mean, showing an ankle is already too much. So you're showing them all of it.
Is that a badger bone in your grave, or are you just happy to see me?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I guess my question is with Nevin, is he considered a general, and then he has his coven, or is he like is he like the main?
No, he was just a young fledgling.
Okay.
Whenever he died, yeah.
Got it. And so then we discover more of Cephas's powers, where we learn, again, he has the vulnerable skin. He can move as quickly and he's got the super strength. He's tossing them all about.
Yeah.
And in this section, okay, so he saves them. He spears them. So, and then vampires obviously get staked to the heart. They die.
There's one more power. I'll tell you, Kyle. There's one more power you missed up there, and it's it's not very. I didn't really focus on it too much, but I hinted at it. In that left panel over there, right there. Look what his hands.
The fire.
Doing. Yeah.
Oh, so he's got fire hands?
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Is that a power unique to him?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So, because he doesn't really use that power very often in any of the other fights.
No, he doesn't.
Is there a reason for that? Is that something we're going to find out later?
Yeah, it actually hurts him to use that power.
But
he used it again in issue 2.
Okay.
Justin, he is the Iron Fist. That's right.
It's Iron Fist. I mean, or Absolute Superman. That's also something too that's been happening.
Oh, really? He does that too?
Yeah, Absolute Superman. He's got like these flaming, glowing fists that he can go and morph into things, which Julius hates.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then continuing on, we meet up with he talks to the girl. Now this was also something too, and then me and Julius were talking about it. Is she is obviously afraid, but then like one line of dialogue is just like, okay, yeah, you're safe, don't worry. And then she's like, oh, all right, cool, you're good. It's like like this is it's like, well, this is 17th century and it's a demon and you just got a bunch of butchers that all over, like the ones like literally hanging on the tree bleeding on you, and you're just like, oh well, he seems nice.
Well, he did stop the vampires that were about to kill her.
I mean, yes,
that counts for something
to me as more of a rational human being.
And you're right, Kyle.
Just of course, out of there, no matter what. Yeah. Whether or not he's on my side or not, I'm running.
Absolutely right, Kyle. I failed you again.
I mean, yeah, it does, show that he does care about people and things like that. And, she gives, now is this cloak that she gives him the one that he's going to wear, throughout, I guess, the centuries?
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Oh, okay. It's just something to,
just something to hide his shame for now.
Yeah, hide your nakedness.
Right. Yeah.
And then we get to this. Now, this section here, this is my favorite section of the story. I love the werewolves.
Awesome.
In this, I thought they were really great. Um, the only um thing I have is like I know you're the colorist, and I'm gonna critique you a little bit on the coloring.
No. Yeah, go for it.
Is that I wish that they were either a darker brown or a darker gray or brown.
Mm,
There are some shots and scenes in this, and we'll get to it, where it kind of blends together with the background if you're kind of like just looking at it. I
yeah,
wish that they were, and you can see Cephas very clearly in the panels, which is good because he's got the red skin. But
right.
the vampires, I wish were the
Werewolves.
same color brown as they
Yeah,
were on the cover.
gotcha.
Was there a reason why they were different, or was it just stylized? Or
Well, probably just like style wise. I do color a lot based on like what the backgrounds are looking like,
okay,
and then to differentiate the
um,
foregrounds. Sometimes, it just depends what the scene looks
okay.
like.
I still like the design of the of the werewolves though. They looked very menacing, which was really good, and especially this splash page right here.
Yeah,
Um
I love that shot. That's really
yeah.
cool.
They're definitely something that like really devour everything. Um and Cephas in the dialogue is giving, um a expositing, is that the right word?
Yeah,
Exposition, that's it. Getting exposition of werewolves. And so in this story, are werewolves, did they come about the same way like vampires came about, or were they always there, or did one become like exist before the other, or were they all
mm,
like kind of like maybe like like classic Hollywood movie monster, the Universal Studios monsters, where they all kind of came out at the same time and then they kind of like eventually got all connected? In this story, do they just all exist at the same time?
no, I think in my universe the vampires have been around longer than the werewolves have.
Okay,
Yeah,
so the werewolves, would you say that the werewolves have only come about like in the last like 100 years or so, or were they back in 1800s as the
they've
vampires
prob-
were?
they've probably been around since like the 1700s, 1600s, somewhere in there, 1500s.
Okay.
Yeah,
And so then in the story, he's talking about them devouring people and feasting on their flesh and stuff. And then this scene right here, this panel, um scroll down to the bottom of the panel. This was also one where too I wish that the the blood on the hand was a little bit of a darker red, like it is right above it too. So there's a splash of blood that's a lot darker red, and then
yeah,
there's that red that's more of like a pinkish type red. Um, is that
yeah.
to distinguish between the vampire blood and human blood, or is
You're
it
talking
just
about the foreground arm,
yeah? So the hand on the
right?
ground, that's the I assume is
That's
it the
so that
were
it doesn't distract you from the main point of that panel is the kid's face. So if you pull back a little bit and look at the whole panel,
yeah.
um, whenever I use lots of contrast and coloring, it's to bring your attention to a certain area within that panel. So the high contrast is the kid's face because that's the important part. That's what shows the emotion of
Mm.
that panel.
No, and I definitely got that, and it was a very very good
Right.
expression.
And if I use like a bright red at the bottom, that would pull your eye down and distract from what's happening up at the top.
Right. No, I get that. It was just one thing that I caught that I was because in my view though, when I was looking at it, I was focusing more on the hand at the bottom because I'm like, oh, that's gross, that's cool, but
Yeah.
the expression of the guy, and especially I love the expression of the woman getting dragged with the nails
Oh yeah, yeah.
flying in the first panel there, yeah, right
Yeah,
up
you
at the
just
top
feel
there.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was really cool to see. Was that something that you specifically told her, like told the artist like nails on a chalkboard type,
it's been a while since I've looked at the script. I don't remember what direction I gave him. But
really?
I'd have to look.
Um,
But yeah, he did a great job. I just feel that.
yeah. And I like the the dialogue that you're giving of the young boy, obviously, in shock about what's happening and everything.
Yeah.
And his inner monologue of, should I get myself involved in this? Because if I do, then, I'm gonna be, I'm gonna have to, take care of all these guys, but then everybody's gonna fear me, and then it's just gonna cause even more problems.
Right, and he's weak too. Like the thing is that he hadn't fed in a couple of days, so he's weak.
Yeah, and he won't be able to control himself. He fears that he might not be able to control himself, right?
Right.
Yeah. And then we learn that the werewolves, mark this boy with some basically pee on him.
Just their pheromones. through their paws. Their paws. Animals' paws, like they have pheromones that glands in their paws, like cats and dogs. Yeah.
So they pee on them.
And then... exactly right. You're right, Kyle. That's what happens.
No, but okay. I didn't know that though. Is that really about animals?
Yeah, animals. Yeah, cats and dogs. They have glands, scent glands. That's why they'll rub up against you and bite you.
I never had any dogs or cats growing up. I'm allergic, so that never occurred.
Poor Kyle.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, he does obviously he gets involved, and so in this shot though, so he grabs the werewolf, through the top of the train, I assume, because they're on top of the train. He grabs his leg, and then he just and the werewolf's all like, "Oh no, I'm caught!" And then he
breaks his ankle there. He breaks his foot.
Okay, he breaks his foot, and he's like, "Okay, that hurts." And then he busts up through. I was expecting him to like throw or like pull him down or something like that, but he just kind of jumps out of the it almost is angled almost though like he's jumping up high and coming down instead of coming up out. So that was just something I noticed. I do loved the breaking of the
jaw
mouth open. Yeah. Werewolf bro.
Raggy.
How much did you almost like want to do that as like what's the term for that?
Onomatopoeia.
Onomatopoeia.
Yeah.
That would have been funny.
Yeah, that would have been
funny. And so then they, obviously fight, and it's an amazing fight. This, like I said, so this section here with the werewolves on the train is, in my opinion, where it should have began at the beginning of the book. So this is where we should have start off with him fighting the werewolves, because there's a ton of action, and you also get the dialogue at the beginning of like, should I help? Should I not? These are, I haven't eaten. So you're like, well, who's this that we're talking about? And you realize, oh, he's like a monster, but then you realize, oh, he might be a vampire. So I think that it asks a lot more questions to get you going. And I think it would have been just a little bit more of a stronger start.
Yeah.
And so he keeps on. That's close-up shot though, right there, where he's like biting his arm and he's grabbing him and stuff like that. I really liked that panel right there.
Yeah.
And all of and then from here, this whole page of the motion of the fighting and everything like that, that was all good. It all worked and makes sense to me. He then notices that the boy is marked, and then told him, take it away. And the werewolves are like, nah, man, sucks to be you.
Yeah, that's not how that works.
It's not
marked,
how that
always
works.
marked.
Once marked, always marked. And so now he's marked. Does that mean that he's going to become a vampire, or that he's just going to be hunted all the time? Or not a vampire, a werewolf. Going to become a werewolf? Or is he just going to be hunted by werewolves?
He's just gonna be hunted by them. He's owned by the pack now that they marked him.
Okay.
And where that came from was when I was a kid in South Texas. There used to be this grapefruit and watermelon field across the street.
Mhm.
And I used to go with my dad. We used to run across the street and steal oranges and grapefruits. But watermelons, if you see them at the store, sometimes they'll have the scar on them.
Yeah.
And the reason there's a scar there is because the coyotes will go mark it. So
Oh.
that's how you know which ones are going to be the sweet ones. If you see one with a mark, so they mark it so they can come back and find it again.
I see.
And so that's
Okay.
kind of where I got that idea from. I was like, no, he's marked so that he belongs to that pack now. So none of the other werewolves around, if they smell him, they'll leave him alone because he belongs to this pack.
And they marked him just so that they can come back to him and
Yeah, they can find him. Yeah, I mean, they marked him by accident just because they were holding him down.
Oh, okay.
And they gave him that offer, join us or feed us. Basically, we're gonna eat you.
Well, that's quite the option there.
Right.
Do they are they also have the same hierarchy system as the vampires, where there's somebody like a coven and different sects of
Yeah,
werewolves?
there are different packs across the country, around the
Okay.
world.
Okay, cool. So then maybe there are some werewolves that are brown, and these ones are just the non-brown ones.
There you go. Could be.
Yeah. And then we find out that he's got these cool what I don't know, knives.
I call them death claws. Yeah, they're
Death claws.
they're like ulu knives, but
Okay.
it has the handle and the blade kind of comes around it.
Yeah. Now, obviously, you wanted to have him to have some sort of different weapon. What were some of the other options that you just were thinking about him having as a weapon?
Honestly, that was the only weapon I thought of for him.
Oh, really? So you're
Yeah.
just like, that's it, and we're gonna go with it.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Well, it works because it's something that you don't really see very often.
Mhm.
So it's definitely in my book, more unique is the better.
Yeah.
So then obviously he says, okay, I'm gonna go and chop you up because you guys are kind of saying things along the lines of how many is there? There's 6 of us. I like those odds. And he starts chopping them up. Now this page here, this was where I was saying where the coloring of the werewolves would have benefited from it being a different, a little more starker contrast, because they kind of get a little lost in the background when you kind of just look at it, and I don't get to see all the details that are presented in the art.
Yeah.
And then there was the Tash in the final page, last panel there.
Mhm.
Kind of tripped my eyes out a little bit because of the of the different layering of it.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
So
Alright,
that was just
I'll yell at Keith for you.
okay, good. Thank you. I appreciate that. No, but other than that, looking and studying it, I love, him just chopping them up and chopping their heads up, and him saying, obviously he's still very weak, like you mentioned. So he's
Yeah.
he's telling himself, I gotta make sure every muscle I move counts.
Right.
And so he's methodically, surgically chopping them all up. And so werewolves are they the same in terms of with vampires, where you mentioned that they self-heal. Like, is their self-healing like Wolverine level self-heal, or is it like just kind of like they will eventually heal themselves?
On this night in particular, because I think he mentions it here that there's a harvest moon that night, and
Oh, I
so
see.
they have an accelerated healing.
Got it. Yeah. Is that just specifically because it's a harvest moon, or do they
Yes,
also
yeah,
heal
yeah. They also heal
if
like
there isn't?
yeah, if there isn't, but it's just especially stronger that night.
Got it. Now, would he also, or vampires have any type of special healing as well because of either a full moon or harvest moon at nighttime or anything?
No, he's not affected by the moon. He's more affected by the blood. Like as long as he can
Okay,
feed and rest, like he can heal.
got it. Okay, and so then yeah, the last shot of him, cutting up the vampire or the werewolf, and I keep messing that up, and then throwing him off the train.
Yeah,
I wish there was some more blood coming down off of the werewolf's
werewolf.
arm
Yeah,
there. I mean, it kind of reminded me of Empire Strikes Back with the Wampa. He's just like,
yeah,
my arm, it's cut off.
yeah.
Was
He's
that
dry.
something?
He's tapped out. No, I this is probably the goriest book I've ever done, and I know it's not even all that gory. I just like I'm okay with it not being so over the top
Okay.
gory. I think it
I
gets
get,
the
yeah,
point across.
I get it. Maybe if it was, I guess my thing was like, okay, if it was the chopping off the arm and stuff like that, maybe he could like the Cephas could like transfer his fire into the blade, and maybe that was like when he cut it, it also charred it, kind of like a
Yeah,
lightsaber.
that's actually a really cool idea. I like that idea. I might use that.
Yeah. So that was just maybe something that that would be more purposeful in
Yeah.
his hands and stuff like that. So anyway, there's a freebie idea for you. You're
Well, thanks. I
welcome.
appreciate it. Yeah.
I expect to get no note for that. um And then obviously, he does the same to the kid as he did with the girl of like, don't be afraid. I'm not here to hurt you. And we even get the flashback to her,
Yeah.
and she's like, oh, sorry that your parents have, died, and you're all sad, but I'm gonna help you, type of thing.
Yeah.
I do like that shot though with the willow tree and
Yeah.
him in the shadows with the cape and stuff like that. Yeah. And then I also really enjoyed the last shot here where he is with the boy and they're walking through the desert. I think that the coloring on the moon
Yeah.
and everything was spot on. Man, I love that. Honestly, though, the thing I didn't like was that
Oh no.
pillar
Oh, no.
of text blocking it. Like, I get it. I like the humor that was with it. I do. I genuinely do. I just hated that it blocks that beautiful shot right there. Like, if they could just cover that, take that away, and then they could just walk into the moonlight, or instead, normally they walk into the sunset. They're
Right.
walking into
Yeah.
the moonset. I love that shot, and especially with the Monument Valley with the the mountains there. It's
Right.
just that pillar of text. Though, is there like a reason? I understand it from a technical standpoint, but like, did that really need to be there?
Yeah. I trusted Keith with that, and I'm not a letterer.
Yeah,
I've done it, but it's not my thing, and so I just trusted Keith to do what was best, and it didn't bother me. But I understand. I get what
yeah.
you're saying.
I mean, like I said, I enjoyed the dialogue. I enjoy the kid, asking all these like stupid questions over, it's like,
Yeah.
can you really see yourself in a mirror? Yeah. Can you really do this? No. Can you do, it's like, I
Yeah.
think that may have also been probably pretty good to do maybe in the next book, them showing their dynamic of like, okay, this is what we're going to do. I can understand like I said, maybe if you want to do it here and kind of get their dynamic going with this type of he's eager to learn about Cephas, and he's kind of like the reluctant hero in a sense. And so you kind of, I'm assuming that dynamic is going to kind of build upon in the next book.
Yeah, it will.
Are these two characters set up to be a team, or is this going to be more of like once the story concludes of him, like then he's going to be done with the boy?
Once the 4-issue story arc is done, he's done with the boy.
Yeah. Okay, he's not going to be like his adopted son or something like that down the line. Okay. Because everybody's doing that. It's like you got that with Mandalorian and Grogu, and you've got
right.
What was it? Everybody wants to be Leon the Professional.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so then we, end it there with them walking off into the moonlight. So, as I said, so now I've been talking a long time. Julius, what are your takes on what we went through?
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt you because you were on a roll there, and so I just kind of let you go. Because usually I like to chime in between your thoughts, but I didn't want to disrupt that today. So, yeah, honestly, my biggest takeaway was I felt like I was, because I reread it again recently for the review, and I felt like I was reading 3 introductions with the 3 chapters. And even though you do a great job weaving them together and tell a coherent story, from beginning to end as to who Cephas is, I agree with Kyle in the assessment that if you had started the story with the werewolf scene, it would have been a lot more compelling for a new reader. Because when I read, I don't just read in terms of editorial, right, or editor or whatever. I read as a reader. Like if I was a new reader and I saw this on the shelf and I think, okay, this is cool, I'm going to pick this up and check it out. What would have been the strongest scene for me was the werewolf scene, because it would have done a few things. One is, oh, damn, werewolves. Okay. Oh, damn. They're like hungry. They're eating, they're killing the people. And all of a sudden here comes this burnt victim vampire creature monster coming out of nowhere, right? And
only you
fighting
can
them.
Forest fires.
Yeah. Fighting them and protecting the humans, or trying to protect them anyway. And then now I'm like interested. Now I'm vested. Now I'm like, who is this character? What's this character all about? And then you could have done the flashback when he starts talking to the boy, and go back to the when he was a boy and how he was raised by his parents in Italy in the 1700s. And that whole flashback was great because it would have been a great intro, like it would have made the reader want to keep reading, in other words.
I see.
And so I felt that you could have maybe expanded the flashback scenes to further issues, because I felt you did too many flashbacks. So I think I counted 3 flashbacks. 3 flashbacks total?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 flashbacks. Yeah. And although you did it right, I mean, it didn't take away from the story. It still read good. It didn't drag it. It didn't like take me out of it. You did such a great job weaving it all together that I was still able to finish it without any problems.
Right.
But upon rereading it over and over again for the editorial part of the segment, I felt that was your strongest section to start with. And then maybe you could have saved some of those flashbacks for the future issues. Like maybe you could have ended the flashback when he burned in the sun, and then it kept the story going with him and the boy. And another thing that I noticed too was the going back to the woman who after one line of dialogue was like, "Oh, don't worry, I'm safe with you now, whatever." I felt maybe a missed opportunity was here, because it could have been where she ran away, and then maybe later on the issue, since in my editorial mind you would have saved those flashbacks for future issues, she probably could have came back and been grateful, and then maybe you could also explore the whole like I'm hideous, kind of like don't look at me kind of deal. Like I know, and that would have added a layer of what do you call it? Empathy for the reader, like being able to connect with the reader in terms of emotional weight to the story, because it has a lot of potential to be like this very symbolic story of like self-esteem, you know, of actual real. I know it's not targeted towards burnt victims, but you know, I can imagine a burnt victim reading this, going like, "Oh, this is cool." You know, I could identify with this, and not just burnt victims, but also people who, you know, grew up insecure, you know, grew up unsure of themselves, and this is something they could connect with the character, even though the character is a vampire. But overall, man, like that was the only thing, honestly. But overall, the writing was superb. It didn't, like I said, it never lagged. I never felt like, I'm sure you know this. So sometimes when you read comics and it's a chore to read through.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? This was not a chore at all. I was able to follow it from beginning to end, like I said. The action sequences were fantastic. In terms of now let me give you my critique of your critique.
Yeah, I'm gonna fire up a stream after this.
And the only minute gripe is the purple. You really love purple, don't you, Ben?
I really love purple. I don't know, man. I guess it goes with the night scenes.
Right, because there's nothing wrong with this. It's just that I noticed, like, wow, there's a lot of purple in this book. But other than that, like, honestly, man, like the story is good. There's a lot of potential there. I'm actually looking forward to what you're going to do with this story arc. And you said it's going to be 4 issues, right?
Yeah, 4 issues.
So right now, currently, are you close to being done for the second one? Are you, or what's going on? What's the status on the other issues?
It's already being drawn. I brought in Justin to help with the artwork. He's doing the backflash scenes.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And while Mario's doing the current day scenes. So yeah.
Okay. How long do you think it will be? Another year or a few months?
It'll probably not be out physically until next year. I'm thinking.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
cool.
I'm gonna look at where everybody's at probably at the end of August, and looking at setting up the campaign probably for October.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay.
Cool.
I like
so you're
Halloween.
gonna crowdfund the second book.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, awesome. All right, cool. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me, man. That's all I had regarding the critiques, was just the rearranging of the scenes and the segments. I think would have helped the book in terms of being what do you call it, invested in the story immediately, because not, and like we were talking, Kyle and I were talking about this earlier. In this day and age, with social media and smartphones, the attention span, as you know, is like really short now. So
it is, yeah.
So if you don't capture the reader within the first few pages in any kind of way, then you potentially could lose them faster. I'm not saying they're obviously the hardcore readers will still read it anyway. But if you were looking for new readers, you want to like just hook them immediately and get them invested right away. So that way, when they're done, they're mad, not because the story was bad. They're mad because the story ended. Now they have to wait for the next one.
Yeah, now they gotta wait for a whole another, however long, just so that I can finish the story. I want to read it.
Yeah. And so that's pretty much it for me on my end. But moment of truth, Kyle, is Cephas written by Ben Soto, drawn by what's his name, Ben?
Mario Williams.
Mario Williams. Is Cephas issue 1 from Hollywood Head Comics worth the pickup?
Yes, it is worth the pickup. I definitely recommend it.
Sweeney's like, oh man,
I know, like, oh man, I got
everything crossed the line there.
As we mentioned before, though, it like what we talked about in terms of the coloring or how pages are laid out and stuff like that, it didn't distract from the overall story that you were doing. It was just it was more along the lines of like what we talked about. it's just things that we noticed that we think that would make the story flow just even better or even more appealing or something like that. But as always, we're trying to, like as Justin said, tough but fair. Exactly. No, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I did. It's like I said, it was a very fun read, and it was the art by Mario was really good, and I loved a lot of the shots in it, and a lot of the world building that you have with it. Like I said, I keep asking you questions like, "Oh, is this how it's gonna be?" And this, and it's
right.
Is this how it is? And you're all. I've had a lot of those. You're like, "Well, shut up! I'm trying to get to it. You'll find out later."
Yeah, trying to answer your question, but not give too much away.
Yeah, but that's good. You want questions like that because I want to know more about this universe, and like I have even more questions of like, well, is there like Frankenstein? Is there like the creature from the Black Lagoon, or is there other like other type of like classic movie monsters,
right?
Or crypt monsters that are gonna show up, and you're like, wait and find out. And I'm like, all right. So
you'll see. We'll see.
I
will give you guys a special preview here. I'm sharing my screen.
Oh, okay.
This is a new character that's going to be introduced at the end of Cephas #2.
Ooh, we get the sneak
exclusive
preview.
First look
right here.
Let's talk about it. Wait, did you share it already?
I'm sharing it. Yeah, I don't know. Can you see it?
I need to scroll down. Duh.
I can't see it.
No, I have to scroll down.
So it's all your fault. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is Night Soul. He's the leader of a monster slayer group.
Oh, and, I like the design.
He's another antagonist for Cephas.
Wow, I like that design.
So right eye has white tattoo of a sun with 4 points. Left eye has 3 red dots. Right eye fires a solar energy bat. Oh, interesting. Thigh sheaths carry silver stakes. What's the significance of the 3 dots over the other eye?
He has like roots in Aztec mythologies and stuff, and so it has to do with like the phases of the sun.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, that's pretty rad, dude. I do love the sun over the other eye. That's pretty cool. Kind of has a cable vibe to it.
Yeah, kind of.
And Cyclops because he's got
right.
Off the glass.
That's right.
I like the sun, over the shoulder. The skin suit that he's got on.
Right.
That's a really interesting design. I'm actually looking forward to that. So is he going to be like kind of like a Van Helsing type of
Yeah.
Very cool.
So there's an exclusive for you guys.
Yeah, nice.
Night Soul.
No, it's a cool design. I like the face mask too. It gives that Winter Soldier feel to it as well. And so so he's part of a you said he was part of a group?
Yeah, it's part of a team of monster slayers and
do the other monster slayers have the same kind of design of the costume, or he's the only one that has this design of this costume?
He's the only one that has this design of the costume. They all come from, there's like 3 Native American characters, and they each come from different tribes.
Oh, okay.
And cool. Each have like a different special ability. One of them, her name is Moonbird, and she transforms into like a owl, a large owl.
Ah, cool. Oh. Whoa, that's pretty rad. A large owl.
Ooh.
Not a regular owl, a large owl. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
Tall one.
That's cool. That's really cool. So there you have it, guys. Cephas issue 1 is worth the pickup. Now, Ben, is this book still available anywhere for anyone who may have missed the campaign? They can pick it up like on a website or is there in demand?
Yeah, it's still on Fund My Comic. You can still go to Fund My Comic and pick it up there.
Do you have the link so I could share it in chat?
I do not. Let me find it.
Yeah, if you guys have not heard of Fund My Comic, it is a crowdfunding campaign site and that works the same way as Kickstarter and Indiegogo, but it's strictly just for comic books. So if you have your own indie comic book idea or project that you have in mind and you want to raise some funds, Fund My Comic, in my opinion, is probably the best place to go to because it's just strictly for comic books. It's not for anything else but comics. So you might have a better chance of getting funded by actual comic book readers and fans to help your idea come to fruition. So I do recommend checking out Fund My Comic, especially now that you can still order Cephas issue 1 from Ben Soto. And yeah, go check it out. Once he gives me the link, I'll share it in the chat, and you guys can check out the site and order a copy if you guys found Kyle's review to be very insightful, and if he did his job right and he convinced you that it's worth the pickup, then you go check it out, get yourself a copy, because you don't want to miss out on the second one when he launches it in October. So that should be cool.
Right.
Put it in the private chat there for you.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
And this is something that we want to hear from you as well, you in the chat and just in general. We love talking to you, and just because I say it's good or I say it's bad or whatever, like that doesn't mean it's the end all be all of a book. I'm not like, just, I say something and then it's just, it's bad across the board. And, everybody go and burn your copies of it because he says it's bad. No, it's, it's something where it's like, I'm just a reader. You're just a reader. We're all just readers. We enjoy comic books. And I just I seem to have something that which people like in terms of my reviews, and I'm grateful for that. And
you did a good job, Kyle.
Well, thank you. And I try, but like I said, I'm just reading. I'm just trying to tell it how it is. And I think that's just what seems like a lot of people in this industry are afraid of, or at least they're afraid of. And they're also yearning for somebody to just tell them, good or bad, how is my book, and or what am I doing? And like we said, we're trying to do it so that we help you. It's not just to say, oh, it's bad because it's bad. We want to actually give constructive critiques on books, so that you will come even better as a writer or as an artist or whatever. And so we're just here to help and have fun. That's basically it.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you, man. Both of you guys. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. So Ben, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter, or you can find me. We have a Halloween Head Comics Facebook page. You can look us up there.
Okay, cool. No YouTube channel and TikTok, nothing like that?
Do have a YouTube channel. I haven't been very active on there. I need to start streaming again. Justin and I were just talking about that last night.
It's just so hard nowadays, right? It's just everything's gone so busy and
it's like I either spend my night streaming or spend my night working on stuff. It's like
I know. Tell us about it.
For sure, man. I get that. I totally get that on my end as well. It's kind of like, what's more important? Is the streaming? I mean, they're both important, obviously, because you got to
they are
the work, but then you got to keep yourself relevant to people who may like you or may be looking forward to your work or whatever the case may be. So it's kind of tough to juggle all that, especially when you have kids too. So that's a little harder. I have 3 things I'm juggling at the same time, but I feel you, man. I feel you. It's kind of tough.
You don't want to be the guy who disappears when they don't have anything to sell and then just pops up whenever he's got something to sell.
Yeah. I'm starting to feel it the same way too. Which, speaking of which, that QR code you see in the corner there, that's you could click on that or scan that, and you'll go to my tree link, and you could go to my website and buy Asset 13, The Last Thanksgiving. Which Kyle, have you read that yet or no?
I have not read it yet.
Is it in your stack? Is it in your stack?
In my stack. It's in my pile and stuff. Been busy as always. So
no, I know. I totally get it.
Once I do read it, though, then we'll obviously do Is It Worth the Pickup of the book as well. So stay tuned for that.
Yes.
But there's a lot of books that are in my stack.
Oh, I know, dude.
I know. I'm looking at it over there. I'm like, oh man, I gotta start reading it. Otherwise, it's like a Leaning Tower of Pisa. It's gonna start going over.
Yeah, that's why I had to cut back, dude. I had to cut back to 1, maybe 2 books that I regularly get, because I went back to my old habit of just buying comics. But now I'm like, you know what? No, if something doesn't wow me, that first issue, I'm not picking it up anymore after that. Like, you have now they have writers today who work for Marvel, DC, or Image, whoever, they now have to wow me for me to want to get their books. And I think that's a rule that's going to start becoming more apparent as more time goes on, because I don't know about you guys, but the media today, for the most part, kind of sucks. It's not a lot of stuff.
It sucks,
that's out
and
there.
books ain't cheap, man. This
yeah, dude. Yeah, and the prices are going up, so it's
Yeah.
kind of like, if you're gonna charge me $15 for your book, it better be phenomenal.
Yeah.
Because holy crap, it's all it's gonna do is cause more harm than good. If people keep selling, especially indie creators, because we have to, because we don't have the resources that the corporate owned publishers have, so we kind of have to charge a little bit more. So that means our game has to go up every book, or else we're going to go extinct, and no one's going to want to buy indie books at all in general, because they're mostly bad, and that sucks.
Right on.
But anything else you guys want to add before we call it a night?
I don't think so. Like I always say, every interaction that we have together is a new experience, and to always build those experiences and read more comics.
All right. Well said. Well, with that said, thank you guys for joining us. And hopefully you guys are excited with all the announcements that Paramount and Warner dropped this past week. And don't forget to read comics. Don't just stare at your stack.
Yeah,
try to get into the habit of picking one or two books during one day. All it takes is 1 hour or two, and just read the issue, and then put it to your long box, and then put it away and forget about it. So read comics. We'll see you in the next one. You guys have a great weekend. Peace.
Bye, guys.
On November 27th, 1997, citizens from a small Midwestern town called Carpenter's Bay were shocked to discover that one of their own brutally massacred his family, as well as ending his own life on Thanksgiving Day. Dubbed the Thanksgiving Day Massacre, this horrendous crime would forever tarnish the good name of this peaceful town. However, underneath this story lies a dark secret. A secret involving a government cover-up to hide the real story of what happened that fateful day. As the old saying goes, truth is stranger than fiction. Asset 13, The Last Thanksgiving, written by Julius Freeman, art by Greg Warrenchak, available on Global Comics. Evil has a new holiday.